off because it got so hot and the lenses kept fogging up, and everybody started to be like, "Oh, are you dressed up as Constantine?" And I'm like, "I guess."
Well, that's double cosplay for you. Now you can just
Yeah.
go without the mask as Constantine.
Yeah, and I was even saying that somebody asked if I was Castiel as well, so I'm like, you know what? Now I am.
Yeah, the Dublin Comic Con is not so far off. I think Felicia
Just
Day
so
is
you
coming.
guys know, the stream is running, and I'm working to get my headset set up.
Artie, there's one big thing for my endeavors.
Yeah, also.
After actual weeks of trial and error, consulting with multiple people, I managed to crack the code.
What code?
I literally got the Hero Forge Unity file open, and I'm able to edit it to my liking.
Oh, nice.
So I can
Yeah,
make I can make animated miniatures.
Nice.
Oh God, Mother of God.
Alright. Okay. Like last week, sorry.
Yeah. Do you want me to do recaps or should I just?
I think Tropicals is gonna come in a second as well. We'll do the recap.
Yeah. So we were just about to leave with the guard captain on a
You guys
suicide
haven't
mission.
left yet, though, right? Yeah.
We
Right,
haven't
we
left
haven't
it.
left.
Yeah, we were just told.
Yeah, like he just arrived on his horse.
Yeah, we woken up and we walked out onto the courtyard, and there he
There
stands.
with his beautiful horse. Yes.
Yeah.
Big black horse.
I guess horses are not common on this continent, probably.
Very uncommon.
Yeah. What creatures do they use to pull their carts, their like caravan carts across the tundra?
People.
People.
Oh God.
I mean, people are creatures.
Animals. Yeah.
People are fucking useless in that sense. Get some yaks.
Yeah. There's no yaks close by or in large enough numbers.
They all died from famine 12 years ago.
They were all eaten.
Honestly, probably
A
both.
lot of them probably.
Get some bears.
Bigger problem creatures in the tundra. There are mountain creatures that are there, but like it's hard to get hold of them, and when you do, it's hard to control them.
And also hard to feed them, really.
That's the bigger one.
If it's a herbivore, you need to get them food.
There's no food for herbivores.
I guess some can live on like moss.
Fish is the primary. Ice fishing is the easiest way of feeding yourself in the tundra.
Yeah, but that's not really fitting for herbivores.
Yeah, herbivores. That's why there's not many herbivores.
Does anything eat the blade woods?
There are actually creatures that consume blade wood, but it's not so much the leaves; it's the bark itself.
Yeah, much softer, much less dangerous.
Much less dangerous, yes. The creatures that have evolved to eat or feed on the leaves, and not eat them, eat them. Like different kinds of worms and creatures.
I guess like Sirocco has like 3 recipes made out of blade bark. None of them are really good, but all of them are edible.
I just got back like an hour ago.
Apparently.
It was good. It was really funny. I had to take. Oh, you're gone.
Oh.
At the end of that recipe made for blade wood bark, it just says contains nutrients.
Hey, Tropical, what's up?
Tired.
I'm here.
Doesn't
It's been a hell
sound
of a
promising.
week.
You seem up and chipper.
I haven't slept more than about 4 hours over the past couple of days, and it's hitting me.
Yo!
You should not do that.
I don't want to.
I know. I'm not saying that you're doing it on purpose. I'm saying that you should seek any aid that would aid you on not on sleeping more.
You should seek
I've
medical
tried it.
attention.
Or marijuana.
Melatonin doesn't do shit for me.
Bro,
Ah.
I feel that. I feel
Yeah.
that.
As for
Melatonin
someone
doesn't
in a
do
Melatonin
large
also
club.
doesn't do shit for me.
Yeah, a large club would do.
Although, I mean, Hardy, your suggestion
smack
of
upside the head
weed
and good night.
is apparently what Ricky was using throughout the pandemic.
Getting
mean,
roofied on purpose
you know
just
what?
to get a good night's sleep.
You know what? The CDB stuff is actually really good to like for sleeping. The issue is it makes you so tired you don't want to do anything else.
Yeah, that's not good for my work schedule, which is I don't get a day off. Yeah.
I guess you could just slowly die from insomnia. That's okay.
It's fine. You know, if I die before my student loans can catch me, that's not my problem.
Oh no, then it's inherited.
Yeah, not my problem. And then dear-old Bales had to get 3 teeth removed this week, and someone doesn't want to take her pain medication.
It'd be like that.
It
Get a
do.
suppository.
Dogs in pain is the worst thing.
It's more of the look she gives me after I've wrestled the medication down her throat, and I'm just like, this is not fair. You look like I've said I'm going to sell you on the black market.
You might as well have.
By the way, Artie, did you see the thing that I sent you?
Yeah, I did. I was thinking about it.
It looks
I
nice.
think
it
I
just,
might have
it
Commissioner
misses a lot of content yet. Like I was
Yeah,
looking at the
that's
classes and the races, but it
Mhm.
looks good.
Yeah.
Also,
see.
there
Anyway,
is a sticky note here that it reads, executive decision, French has been dropped. So, I don't know. Guess I dropped French.
That's kind of hilarious.
It's good that
about
that's
what
how
we
you get
said.
the news.
Yeah, that's honestly, it is.
I have dropped French. I have been told I've dropped French.
I haven't told myself, but I've dropped French. Essentially.
Is there no internal conversation like that goes
There
into that?
can be.
Get a
It
decision?
just
Some
sucks
people are left
ass.
out.
It just sucks ass.
Is everybody else talking without telling you? Is that what's happening?
I don't know. I honestly don't know, although I haven't been in the loop for quite
the
some time.
ultimate talking behind your own back.
That would be fun.
It's even funnier because I made
Rip.
that joke when I was diagnosed, like, to the
Yeah.
therapist. Because we
So,
used, like, sticky
Dude, I've
notes
heard
and whatnot.
like therapists. I've heard horror stories of like people with DID and therapists.
Yeah, yeah.
It's insane how many
So
therapists
have
still
I.
believe that.
This guy's thankfully someone who actually, understands how the human brain works.
Yeah, just be glad it's not called, being possessed by a demon.
Oh, I mean, technically that
no,
is
that's
an
for later.
entirely different thing in the DSM. It actually is. Last I
Alright.
checked.
Anyway,
So, with DID behind us, let's put DID in front of us.
What's the difference?
What?
The
Just
difference
more
is one
people
has.
outside your head.
The difference. Yeah, there's people outside your head. Rules are still the same,
There's
though.
people-
It's still
Rules
chaos and no
still
one's good
the
at communicating or
same.
scheduling things.
I'm trying to make a pun with did D&D to do D&D, but I'm not sure where to go with that.
I don't.
Alright, so who wants to do the recap?
Not it.
Sure.
Pig knows
So-
it's him. He just likes to pretend it isn't.
Last week,
By the
we
way,
have-
can the rest of you join the server, by the way?
Working on it. Steam's deciding to be real angry today, so if I just randomly pop out and pop back in, it's because my computer's decided to restart.
Alright.
It'd be like that.
that
I
happens.
will
It do be like
hold on.
that. It's
Hold
been
on, I
going
gotta
through a
grab
lot of updates this week, and it's not chipper about it.
Computers are never chipper about updates.
Wait for it to-
Mine's still bothering me about updating to Windows 11.
Bro, same.
Oh,
Fuck that shit.
The
I think my
fucker is-
processor is too old for Windows
like,
11.
No.
it just
Yeah.
periodically tells me, "Hey, do you want to update to Windows 11?" It's like, no, fuck off. And like in 2 weeks later, it does it again.
Oof.
And the biggest fuck you is that it literally restarts my PC randomly. Like
Oh, that
it
doesn't
restarts
sound
my PC just to tell me, "Hey, do you want to update to Windows 11?"
But do you want to update to Windows 11?
But do you want to?
Yeah, I have an IT friend. He had a look in it. Said, "Yeah, so Windows 11 is basically spyware at this point, just based on how much shit they take off your personal data and everything."
Oh,
But
there
Oh,
goes
they
the
already know
computer.
everything. What's left?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's left? Like, what do you want to know? How big my toe is?
They
no,
know.
they already know that.
They know.
So
Alright.
last week we started off in the tavern with the woman who Icarus decided to drag back to life.
On accident.
Weird.
Decided is a.
Decided is a very strong word for that situation.
I recon it was a conscious choice. You reached out, you pulled.
You knew exactly what you were doing.
No, I'm not saying you were know exactly what you were doing. I'm just saying that, you know.
I
And
revived someone without
Yep.
informed consent on my own
Yep.
behalf.
Her name is Irene Stillwater, and she begged for her life, so she might be reunited with her only daughter, Elena. For some reason, Icarus and Hayden. Jesus, why didn't I remember her name? Icarus and Hayden were adamant about having her die, having her dead, as they felt this was a mistake. But ultimately, it was decided that the woman's life should be spared and will face the consequences later. Then came Warden Grey.
Mm-hmm.
Asking us what the hell we are doing. When we
Performing
explained, he did not believe us. Then we decided to ask him to let us out into the wilderness to investigate a cave, for which he left in our face. Also said that we might as well ask the captain, who will also probably laugh in our face. So we did.
And he did.
At first.
We were, we went to the barracks once more and met the captain in a much more relaxed situation. He was not in the middle of training. We learned that the captain is married, which was a surprise to all of us. And also that he is absolutely willing to let us go investigating in the cavern, as he is coming with us for, using his words, an adventure. we were given a Spartanly decorated room in the barracks, and we had a small discussion about jewelry,
Yes.
specifically about Icarus's cursed ring that seemed to carry great significance and potential of horrible demise for him
More than
and
just
most
potential.
others. Before we return to before we decide to take our rests, we figured we might as well go to the cemetery to learn who are those people who have perished during our cho- us being chosen to be shepherds or chaperones or keep.
Chaperones. Wow, way to make my job description sound less.
Cool.
We
Heroic.
later realized that the cemetery is actually outside the city walls, so we're not permitted to go. But thankfully, not so cheaply corruptible guard was willing to take money off of us to take us out there. Taking him was a wise decision as he was an acquaintance of one of the dead, and he knew them quite closely. One of them was a hunter, retired. The other is a simple lowlife that he declared will not be missed. And the third, a human woman that was famed, I guess, or just well-known seamstress, who the dwarf felt was a great loss as he knew her very personally, very personally. As we were walking out the cemetery, once again Sirocco entered the fifth dimension, and I saw the planes of existence through his third eye, and confirmed that the woman who Icarus dragged back through the whale was indeed brought back to life, body and all. After that, we spent some time shopping. Icarus went to the herbalist, who turned out to be the exact same woman that
Then I get
she terrified.
PTSD too.
So
Same thing.
so he continued terrifying her and acquired some incense for spellcasting. I think I posted something for that in memes. I was quite happy with that.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He then proceeded to walk through the barracks and acquire a small trinket for her collection. A ring and a card. Did you tell us which card did you steal, or was it just a random card? Artie?
I don't think I told you guys what card.
To my knowledge, it was more of a random card that I just stole from one of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Were they playing with the deck of many?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Not
I would
not the
still
real
pull
one,
them like
not the real
secretives.
one. Just like the mock version that has the same cards but they don't have the effects.
If we
Uh.
ever find that deck, watch me pull 7 at a time.
Well, you pull all death. you just get reduced to atoms.
Oh no.
Worth it.
On the other hand,
Totally worth
Roth
it.
had a pleasant conversation with a Fletcher man and
His wife.
but what is what is this called when the people make arrows or bows rather?
Boyer,
Because Fletchers make arrows.
arrows, and Boyers make bows.
Yes. It was a strange conversation, an even stranger couple. For one was very enthusiastic about ranged weapons, the other not so much. and Roth came across the desire of his heart, a bow for 500 gold piece.
I'm getting that bow.
Oh yeah, and Sirocco wanted to go for a bath to grab some pearls when he realized there's already one in his pocket. Or
Yep.
several, probably, hidden around all his clothes that he forgot about. But with all of that, we returned to the barracks, settled down for the night, and long rested before the treacherous journey into the Tundra, seeing the hideout of this. Was he a mass murderer or a serial killer?
Well,
Serial killer.
Let's say serial killer. It's gonna be fun, isn't it,
If
guys?
you kill enough people, you eventually become a mass murderer.
Well, I guess mass murdering would, be
Multiple
at
people
the
and
time.
multiple times.
Oh,
Yes,
okay, okay.
serial killer would
Yeah.
be one
Serial
at a
killer
time. Multiple.
is typically one
I
at a
guess
time, but it's
can
more
be
than
more
3
of a
kills.
theory.
He was
You
just
can-
like grabbing kids off the street and making them disappear.
I guess that's just serial killer.
Mhm.
We are the mass murderers, technically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Is-
not
If
yet.
it's gotta be
Is
more than 10
4 a
people.
mass?
But that wasn't you.
I know, but in our press, are we labeled mass murderers or just simple murderers?
Not yet. We have
Anyhow,
murdered.
now,
you're-
yeah, the number of our victims is going down steadily.
Yep.
So
There's more people in the party than there are people they murdered.
yeah, that's true. One of us is definitely innocent, not two of us. So, after our long rest, a gruff voice awakes us by banging on the door, saying that the captain is ready to head out. So we walked down into the courtyard and faced the magnificent form of Captain what's his name. I don't think he ever introduced himself.
He did.
Did he?
Yeah. Captain Silver.
Oh yeah, Silva.
Is
Me too.
is that a reference to a show / manga?
No, there's plenty of people named Silver with outside of shows and
I think I'm
mangas.
going to start an NPC list on my notes, just
Sounds like a good idea.
for quick referencing, because I assume that we are going to meet at least one or two of these people again.
Maybe a good idea.
Yeah.
For reference, you've met Captain Silva. You've met, I believe,
Warden Grey.
Gordon Gray. He's a nice guy.
There was
You
the
met
woman, the
Ulre?
alchemist
Did
woman.
you meet Ulre?
Who?
You met Ulre as Mickerton, your informant.
Yeah. We're
You
not going
met
to meet him again.
Foreman. Maybe. You met I. Stillwater.
Yeah, I'm fairly certain by the time we get back, he's going to be dead.
You met Evain and Demosa Drasmil.
Did we?
Yeah, the Huntsman people, the Huntsman Marks owners.
Oh yeah. Jeez, I
And
didn't
other
even,
than
I didn't even remember their names for some reason.
And other than that, you met the dwarf. I don't think you got his name.
Yeah, I don't think he introduced himself.
I don't think he did.
He made some quick money and got out of there.
Yeah,
He probably would have lied to you about his name anyway.
yeah,
Most
probably. Otherwise, we might report him.
Yeah, you don't know.
Don't think he would care. Criminals reporting him. But yeah, I think that's all of them so far that we've learned.
Alright. So, as you guys now exit the building, the barracks
Oh yeah,
once
and
again.
Triok.
Oh, yeah, I mean, Ryok is not just a normal NPC.
He's
He's
an
the guy who-
NPC, nevertheless.
He's just dead now. He's gone. He's forget about him. I'm sure he'll never come back from his 2-week vacation. Unless you found him in a cave, killing babies.
He's just there.
I just came home. I just came home. I want to chill.
We just find him, we kill the fuck out of him, take him as we killed him.
BRB. About to
So,
take some trash out.
we meet up with the captain in the courtyard.
Alright. As you guys come upon the captain, Silver sort of looks at you atop his magnificent black steed. This large animal that's fairly hairy considering it's a horse. And its thick mane almost seems a fairly stark contrast to the ice and snow that usually dots this land. You can see his mane is beautifully brushed and kept well maintained. And you also notice at this point that he's one of the few horses it's one of the few horses you've seen after this point. As you approach, Silver looks at you and says, "Well then, I believe it's time to be on our way. I figure you guys managed to sort out your rations and such. It's going to be a couple of days at least. If we travel at any reasonable pace, especially on foot.
Did they say that it was like 1 day of travel?
Yeah, 1 day there, 1 day back.
Yeah. I guess that can be considered a couple days.
It's literally a couple of days.
But we all have rations, right, guys?
Right, guys? Please
think I
do remember
do.
your tracking rations.
I think I do. I don't think I.
If you
used
don't
any.
track rations, you're going hungry. And I believe how many arrows you picked up? A set of 20 arrows recently, right?
Yeah, I have 40.
You have 40. All right. Make sure you're tracking those as well.
Here,
If you want
I'll
a counter, I can give you a counter.
Yeah, I would like a counter, please. Can you also give me a ration counter? Because I'm probably gonna forget if I don't do that.
All right. There you go. I believe the text on this is editable. Rations. What the fuck? And this can be. Clicking up, left click will increase the counter, and right click will decrease the counter.
Okay. Don't I start with 10 rations? Because I haven't used any.
It should be in your background information.
Yeah, depends on your background. You're a hermit, right? Hermits are poor. Hermits. No, wait. Rations come from your class, not your background.
The class?
Yeah.
In fact, I
Yeah.
think all of you should take like a ration counter just in case.
Maybe because rations are always part of the pack that you get from your starting equipment. There's always has 10 rations.
Is it always 10? Alright.
I think so. Yeah, because every pack has 10 rations in it. The Explorer's pack or Priest pack or whatever should have 10 days of ration.
So since this is the first day you're leaving town, we're going to say this is the first day you need rations. So you mark off when we use. All right. Say that doesn't happen. All right. Um, he, as the horse begins to trot, you see few guards part out of the way to allow the captain to come through, and as he starts moving, a few of the guards start accompanying him to the side, and he sort of looks at them and says, "I ask you to follow me," and they all sort of pull back. Friends, relax. I'm sure these young people wouldn't harm me, would they? And he sort of looks at all of you.
Uh,
And besides,
Not
I'm
at
capable enough for a couple of days of travel. Well equipped enough, certainly. You need not worry. And please, tell my father that he ought not to worry too. As he shouts that out, the rest of the guards, the wardens, they pull back and part to let him through. As he begins trotting, he sort of gestures with two of his fingers over his shoulder and asks you to follow, and starts going towards the main path out of the city.
I guess we follow in a nice, ponched up fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, I think I'm going to go behind the coughing ranger. First because he's a tracker man. He knows his terrain. Second of all, I don't want to get coughed on.
second of all, I don't want to get. Listen. It's not that I'm sick. It's just that I probably am missing a lung
Smoker's
or
cough.
two.
Yeah. Of course, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they all say.
As you make your way out of the compound, and the barracks is now behind you, you see as he brings his horse to a halt. This is about maybe 5 or so minutes after leaving the compound, just until everything is outside.
Oh, so
Or
we're
all
still in the city then.
wardens are outside. Yes, you're very much still in the city. Barely even out of the compound. You haven't even reached the square yet.
Hmm.
Or the town, I guess. But yeah. So he stops, and as he comes to a stop, he sort of turns his horse towards you guys sideways and says, I know I presume much, and I know I come off as a bit uh, preoccupied, perhaps a little bit uppity, I think is the right word. But I am not well traveled outside these walls, and though my skill with a blade is finer than most around these parts, I do lack in a sense of direction. So I think it would benefit all of us if one of you took the lead. I couldn't really have that get out inside the compound, but here I feel more comfortable knowing that you lot will perhaps not let these words reach the ears of people back in the barracks. Am I correct in my assumption?
I nod.
Rock is gonna say it's no shame in being not being well traveled. It's Tundra's dangerous to begin with.
Exactly. It's it's been a while since I've left the walls of this town, and though I am excited, yes, it would be nice if one of you could take the lead. It would presume too much to for me to really navigate our way with the
Do we
Tundra.
even know where we are going, Ardy?
You know that there is a cave about maybe 12, 14 hours or so in like due north, down this path, and there's he knows some other things, but he's not yet told you everything. So like
Oh, yeah.
he's generally
Yeah.
keeping a tight lip, but he's generally, you know, the general direction. You don't know exactly where.
I'm just thinking like this guy has no idea how to navigate the tundra, and he's going to lead us to the cave that
Oh,
we
he's
don't know
not.
where it is.
Oh, he definitely will need help.
Would I be able to help him?
I think you're gonna be mostly doing the thing. He's gonna
Probably.
once you're there, he's gonna point it at and say, "Oh, that it is. That is
Also,
it.
Artie, how does blackmailing pay nowadays?
Are you blackmailing him
No,
about
just
something?"
just thinking about it.
I mean,
I mean, he'd probably just kill you or say that you're lying or whatever.
That's the thing. I'm not going to blackmail him.
hmm.
I'm just thinking,
Oh.
how much does that information would worth compared to, his, positive outview on us, you know, considering our situation with the law at the moment.
And he seems fairly reasonable right now. But with with the right people, that kind of information about him not being as proficient as he would like people to believe would be valuable. I'm sure to certain
Me-
people.
mental note for that. Could be useful later.
Sure, sure. All right. So I need anyone who's leading the trek from this point onwards to give me a survival check and a perception check.
Are
I
we able to
will.
do it together?
Nope.
Ah.
Can I roll both?
Yeah.
Since I'm
Whoever's
like a
doing it
guide.
will roll it. Unless you have proficiency, you can assist in that particular check, which means
I
you
have
give the other person
proficiency
bonus.
in both.
Same here.
So you can roll both at advantage.
So I can roll both at advantage? Cool. So
Yep.
I'm gonna start with the survival check first.
All right.
18.
All right.
That's nice.
And then the perception check. Another 18.
Damn.
Mm.
All right. All right. So, as you begin to get to the outskirts of the town, walking through the streets, you see is quite a few people take notice of Captain Silva uh, being led through the streets towards the exits. As you get to the outer gate, uh, you see Silva flashes so recognizable smile at the wardens of the gate, and they just slowly, somewhat carefully, open the doors. And as the doors open, you feel this gust of chill wind flash against your faces. It's quite windy out there, and it is quite cold. It's not snowed yet, not today, to your knowledge at least, or not in the night. But still, the ground itself is caked in snow from previous snowfalls. As you begin to take your first steps out of the walls themselves, you notice that the temperature is considerably colder outside than it was inside. Maybe it was the heat of the buildings themselves built by the builders, or it was perhaps the walls affording some amount of protection from the chill winds, or perhaps something else entirely beyond your comprehension that was keeping you, if not warm, at least reasonably comfortable. At this point now, as you exit and you make your way towards this cave, so far in the north, this understanding that this is going to be a painful, chill journey starts dawning on you.
Um, wouldn't some of us be not used to it, but expecting it? Really?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
expecting it is the right way to put it. And a few of you have traveled here, but
You know, Rolf
Nonetheless.
basically lives here.
Yeah.
but nonetheless, it is still a reminder every time you leave the comforts of these cold walls that it is colder still outside. This bone chilling cold will mean that you travel slower than you would normally. And as you do travel, the forests begin to, uh, what do you call it, begin to show up around you. Initially, what was a sparse few trees scattered about turns into this constant flow of massive bladewoods that surround you completely. The wind striking against the sharp leaves of the trees creates a strange whistling sound. And at times, if the wind picks up enough, it feels like the sound itself is like a cold shriek in the tundra. It begins to get quiet. There's no real movement outside. There's a few woodland creatures you hear once in a while, though few and far between. And those do offer you a smidgen of comfort, knowing that you're not the only thing alive outside those walls. The horse now uh, beside you, the biggest of all your bodies, offers the most significant warmth. And so you all huddle close around it and begin walking in this rather tight wall formation with uh, rough men's coughing and retching in the front.
Small blood speckles fall onto the fresh snow.
Guys, it's just COVID. Don't worry about it.
Oh no.
The cold of the day starts dissipating a little bit as the sun begins to uh, show itself as more prominently beyond the wooded line or the forest line ahead of you. As you continue walking, you feel this chill, and you have felt it since you left the place, but it's beginning to pick up even more. It's getting colder somehow, even though the wind should be broken by the trees. It feels colder as you head further north. You think that this distance it shouldn't have this much of an effect, but strangely it does. It
Is
feels
is it
so.
is it unnatural in the sense that we
Is it?
never experience this, or as just a natural feature of this magical tundra?
or
Well,
what I know about it too.
give me a
Would
survival
I?
check on Roth.
On Roth. All right.
Should we be worried about the sudden
And you
chill, or
can
is that just how
Oof.
how it makes you suffer?
Rough.
Roth.
Oof.
Is, did you just name your character for this exact thing?
No, no. But now I'm kind of thinking I should have.
Oh no, he's
So,
not Phineas.
the cold. It's hard
Oh.
to tell exactly how cold it is when you're out in the tundra. And every time you're out there, it feels like it's the worst you ever felt it. Doesn't really get better. This kind of cold rarely does. As you leave your footprints in the snow, you begin to notice the beginnings of snowfall above you, drifting through the trees, being bisected by the blade woods. Little uh, drops of snow, essentially, flakes of snow start settling on the ground increasing the volume of it slowly as you progress, until eventually, by about midday, you get to what looks like this open clearing that other people have perhaps used for a camp, though the fires have been very definitely put out. Uh, there still appears to be some semblance of well, space that's been cleared up of snow so that people can perhaps rest there for the night. You don't know exactly which night, perhaps last night, perhaps some other. But you gather that this is a place where camp is set up by travelers along this path. As you stop for a few moments to gather yourselves and to rest the horse and your own faculties, Silver sort of comes up to all of you and looks at you and says, "Huh, this is a whole other thing. I had not expected this. Has it gotten colder since the last time I left?" And you can see he's like already fairly well wrapped up in furs and his general finery, or already was, but now he's got on like another essentially scarf that's
Ooh.
essentially completely wrapped his face. And all you can see is basically his eyes.
That's what you should do.
Yeah.
Because we all should do that.
I mean, I'm already wearing
you-
a bandana and all that.
Yeah, most of you are, but he wasn't. He was unaware of what was to come outside. He's been wrapped up in those walls for
A long
whoever
time.
knows how long.
He's gone soft, isn't he?
I'm
Got
gonna.
He
been
does,
hot, got been hot
out of all
pants.
of you, look the softest in terms of his exposure to the cold.
Jesus, he's
Even though
I'm
he
gonna.
tries
Oh,
to put
sorry.
on a brave face, you can see around his eyes there's redness forming from probably not frostbite at this point. It's beginning to get there. It could easily be like negative 20 degrees out here, perhaps more.
Jesus. Good, good thing I always douse myself under my clothes in, ambergrease.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and I'm gonna tell him, it for me and being as well traveled as I am, it always feels like it's colder every time I come out.
Why though?
I just shrug and I just say that's just how it is, I guess. Haven't figured out that mystery myself.
You guys notice at this point that your boots also are getting to the point where the snow is starting to weigh them down. You guys tell him that he shouldn't be worried and all that, and after that, he sort of, looking a little bit more reassured, looks at you and says, "I guess we should continue. I heard that there should be a path to our right across the river. Once we get there, then perhaps I can guide you. I've been told fairly accurately where um, the cave itself is found, but once we get to the river is when I can perhaps guide you." And as he says that, you realize that you didn't know that there was a river near Port Shirai. You've been down this path. There isn't a river here.
Uh, there
Hmm.
isn't a river down this way.
Oh, none that's on the maps, yes. But
Yeah, I'm looking at the map here. There's no river on the slate lands.
Well,
or
were
sleet
you
land.
saying? were you saying that I've been down this way before, so I would I would know if there was a river here, like personally?
You have been all of you have been down this path. This is the main path into and out of Port Sherek. Says there is a cut to the right. I went down it maybe 10 or so years ago, and eventually going down that way there is a river. We don't advertise it because well his cabin is down there, down by the river.
Did he say cabin or cavern?
Cabin is down here, down by the river.
Hmm.
I told you about Aram, right? The men who found the cave itself were not there to find any caves. They were there because they were traveling to uh, this cabin, this hunting lodge that's been owned by the Joasmir family forever.
Yeah, got cabin in the woods.
Yep. That's where we'll be heading. And
And
to
would you
protect their
say
privacy and to protect them from, well, you know, unsavory elements that would harm them. We've managed to keep its existence quiet. People don't like to deviate from the path anyway in the tundra.
it is generally a foolish thing to do?
Yeah,
A lot of people die if they stray off the path, especially by the Blade Woods.
true. Even so, we must stray off the path, and I believe I
But
remember the.
if if the cabin belongs,
What do you say?
and
You said
we'll be
cabin. You
able
said
to
cabin
be
belongs, and you cut out after that.
we find shelter.
You said if the cabin belongs, and then what did you
Yeah,
say?
to the family. So will we be able to find shelter?
Oh, hey, you're lagging. But yeah,
Can you now hear
he
me?
says, yeah, it's a little bit broken up,
Can
but
you
it's
hear
fine.
me?
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, there he goes. Hey. And he's
I
gone.
had 9,000 pings. Can you
Yep.
hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear us? No, he can't. All right. With that, he looks to the rest of you as what's his name? Sicario? No,
Sirocco.
Sirocco. Sicario. That's the wrong movie. Sirocco.
Sounds like the name of a Pokemon.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Sicario.
Sicario.
All right. He sort of looks at the rest of you and says, once we get there, I remember where our path diverges from the main road. I think I do at least. So we should be good. Now the question is, do you guys think we should rest here? Do we travel? Because it's another 10 or so hours until we get there, and this I recall is the last real camping spot until we get to the cabin itself. And once we're off the beaten path, then finding anything remotely safe is going to be hard. You, of course, Rolf, know this to be amply true. There aren't a lot of like camping spots that have been designated in this area, and the ones that have been are generally so because soldiers camp there and they usually clear out like dangerous wildlife in the area beforehand.
Would I know if it would be better to continue or
So
camp?
it's not a question of knowing better to continue. It's a question of you know that there's no other camping spots going forward, so you would have to find your own and uh, well risk the forest at night. Or you could rest here where there's less risk, but you're further away from your destination, and you've wasted half a day.
I'm gonna tell everybody and like give them the options because it has to be a group thing. Because you can't just make decisions for everybody.
Whatever you think is best.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really trust that guy as I point over to,
Captain?
what is his name?
He
Yeah,
flashes his brilliant
yeah.
smile at you. It's
Yeah, I especially don't trust that. You seem a little bit more woodsy, so I will trust your judgment on this. But yeah,
Woodsy,
I don't trust that.
that's. I mean, eh. Trust is a commodity around here.
Believe me, when I say trust, it's in the smallest sense.
so. Silver turns to you and says, "Will it be? Are we to move or are we to stay?"
Rock
Probably
is gonna
extend our
think.
trip another day if we stop here.
Artie, you said that the lodge was 10 hours away, right?
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
Or not lodge, but
how
the
far?
cave. Not the lodge,
Yeah.
the
Oh,
cave.
so not. But we're not. The lodge is not really on the way to the cave.
The lodge is ahead, further along.
Okay.
The cave is on the way to the lodge, is what they
Okay.
said.
How far can we travel in a day in these traveling conditions?
You could travel your normal 8 hours, you would probably make about 20 miles.
Okay, so basically, even if we push on, we will have to camp out. Like if we don't push on, we will still have to camp out in the off-beaten path.
Yeah, it's
woods
just a
before we
question
get-
of how you will have to camp out today and then maybe tomorrow as well. If you camp today, if you camp right now, and it is only midday, so you're wasting essentially half day.
Hey, Justin!
Cries across the woods. Oh, such strange noise is made by the blade leaves.
As the wind
My-
rushes across the
my-
leaves.
That was my mom yelling at my little brother because he's still asleep and it's like halfway in the afternoon.
Oh, I wish.
That was great.
Oh,
But
to sleep that much. I wish.
while everybody's discussing, I'm gonna go out and meticulously look for like tracks or anything like that looks familiar from like just any track really, monsters, animals, just
Give me another survival check. Remember,
18.
you have
Wow.
advantage. Wait, you don't have advantage on survival checks.
No, that's
I have
that's
I have
Hayden.
I have advantage on Constitution.
Wait, Hayden doesn't have advantage on survival checks.
I thought Hayden
I
was
thought
insight.
I was, like, investigation.
Inside.
Yes, inside.
Inside, sorry. Who has? No, it's Dino's character has an advantage on
Yeah.
survival checks. Jesus.
Yeah.
All right.
It's him then.
So
Do I have
what did you
advantage
get?
in
No,
Constitution?
you're an advantage.
Okay, that's
What do
what
you
I
get
thought.
total?
I rolled an 18 again.
18. All right. And there's a lot of 18s today.
Mm-hmm.
As you walk out towards the forest and you leave this clearing a little bit further behind, you begin to pick up on scents, on tracks. There are a few woodland creatures who clearly have been here recently, though most tracks you recognize as mundane creatures that wouldn't really bother you, elk and the like. There is one set of tracks that is a little bit bothersome. And in fact, you're kind of surprised to see that this track itself is singular. These are definitely wolf tracks.
So I imagine it's some like a starving wolf, possibly.
You don't really know what condition the wolf is in, you just know that it's most likely alone
How deep is it?
and
Can,
perhaps quite
can you
big.
estimate the weight of the wolf?
That's what I said, that perhaps quite big. They are large for wolf tracks, but the shape is unmistakable.
And would I be able to like look closer to see if I can glean any more information?
It's a track, that's about all you can get. You can glean that it was moving in a northeasterly direction.
And is that away from
It
us, or is that like
disappears
near?
to the- It's going further away from you.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything other than the wolf tracks that are of note?
No, nothing that catches your eye beyond that.
I'm
Few
gonna
squirrels popping out of the trees.
I'm
Are
gonna
there
make
are there bladewood acorns? Sorry, not acorns. Pine cones.
Nope.
Ah,
I'm gonna make my way back to the group.
All right. What do you guys?
I'm gonna tell them about the wolf tracks and that we need to be careful because it's by itself and it's bigger than what a usual wolf would be.
well, if it's heading away from us, all we have to do is not follow it, or make enough noise so it gets attracted to our camp again.
Would I know if like this might be a tactic of like a wolf to like for hunting, or is it just like a we got to be careful?
A hunting wolf wouldn't
It
really be
it
seen.
walked it walked backwards in its track, so it looks like it walked away. It's hiding up in the branches.
No, I
You
meant
you gather that if it was hunting, you wouldn't have found the tracks.
mm,
Not
so
this close to the settlement itself or to the clearing itself.
Artie, do we know of anything significant being in the direction the wolf was going?
Not really. You haven't really been in the woods per se.
I've been in the woods.
Not in this area. This is about a few hours removed from the city itself.
Yeah, I'm just. Well, all in all, we just have to make a decision. Do we push on or do we make camp here?
I'm gonna say that I believe that we should make camp here because we're trying to be as efficient as possible with this time that we have.
What?
Like we don't want to waste a day because we decided to
That's
to
why we should
camp out
make
later.
camp here, so we don't waste a day.
Yeah, right?
Is that the
It's-
way around?
Oh, I had it the other way around. Oh, my bad. No, we should push on then. My bad. I misunderstood.
uh,
Hadon retracts her statement. She no longer trusts your judgment.
Artie, I would like to use Druidcraft.
To do what exactly?
To predict the weather for the next 24 hours.
It's gonna snow.
No
There-
tiny golden orb flying in clear skies.
Nope.
Just
Before you
big,
cast the
big
spell,
fucking cloud falling snowflakes.
yep.
Well, it seems tomorrow's going to be an even harsher walk.
All the more reason then to get where we're going faster, and get ahead as far as we can today.
I agree.
Off we go.
All right. So, as Silva gets on his horse again, you begin to trot forward as well, further down along the path, leaving this clearing behind. Unaware of unaware if this is going to perhaps cost you in the long run. Safe
Probably
spot to
will.
rest could have been useful, but you've decided to reject it, and as such, you make your way further into the Blade Woods. As you continue on,
We make our own safe spots.
Ow!
the hours begin to pass, and the sun overhead, though already a faint visage of what it would normally be like in other places, begins to sink low. And it's about 3, maybe 3:30, when the sun begins to fade out entirely and darkness begins to set in. At this point, you've reached essentially the middle of nowhere. You're going down this path, you don't know how far you have to go, and you don't quite know how far you've come. Indiscriminate blade woods surround you, and
Do I hear any noise that would suggest that the river is close by?
make a perception check.
Can I help him?
No need. I can see sounds.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
I
you have a
can't see
perception
sounds,
check.
and my hearing is not that good. It's only a 13.
The third ear doesn't open.
The third ear doesn't
Third
open.
ear.
I don't
Who
even
Where
needs
know
is
a
that
third
on his
ear when
butt?
Who needs a third ear when you can have a second nose?
Oh, Ross.
All of this is so cursed.
So,
A second skin, he just molts.
as you begin to
But imagine what that could
wind
sell
down,
for in the black market.
as you begin to wind down for the day, and you begin to process the area around you, looking for perhaps safe spots, you also begin to cast out your hearing and make a estimate of about how far you are from any flowing water. But of course, once again, you are met with the cold and silent sounds of the Tundra itself. The blade woods whispering is the loudest thing you can hear.
Well,
Though occasionally,
clearly the
uh,
river is still far away.
though occasionally a bark from a deer, from an elk or a deer will raise your ears. The river doesn't appear to be, or at least doesn't sound to be close enough for you to hear its babbling.
Yeah, but more importantly, what does the snow fox say?
What does the
Oh.
fox say? Ring, ding, 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 ding.
Anyway, so yeah, I guess we are looking for a suitable spot to set up camp. Sort of a ditch in the ground that is providing some protection against the wind, or or the exact opposite, an elevated position where the
As you
morning
bring
frost
this up,
would protect from.
as you bring this up, Rolf points out almost immediately that a ditch in the ground in the falling snow would be a terrible idea.
Yeah, that's why I said it instead for maybe an elevated position where the morning
Yeah.
frost would not settle on us.
Exactly. So, elevated positions hard to come by in these forests. Unless you want to brave the climb into the arms of a plaidwood tree.
Not a wise idea.
Not at
Yeah,
all.
no thanks.
But speaking of a safe spot, I need you to give me a perception check.
Giving the guy with eyes a perception check.
That's a 14.
Though none of the spots you find seem very safe in particular, you do find a small clearing. It's not really as though there's much room here, but at least it's off the road a little bit, maybe 30 or so feet, and passers-by might not notice if there was no fire.
Are we really afraid of passers-bys? Well, I guess so, because
Optical.
everyone can just murder you outside the cities.
Yeah.
That's a consideration, yes. So is this where you would like to set up a camp?
I'm guessing by this time it's almost pitch black darkness.
Oh, yes. At this point, the sun has basically set. Though the final rays of dusk still remain,
It's unlikely
it
we're
is
going to find any
mostly.
better place than this.
That could be the conclusion you would draw, yes.
But, you know, finding a better place will just get harder in the dark.
Yep. So,
So,
So.
you guys are settling down for the night?
not much else I can do.
Mhm.
Alright.
I would like to, when we actually like make up camp, I would like to use the cantrip alarm at max range.
That's not a cantrip.
Alarm is not a
Is it-
cantrip.
I would.
Oh no, sorry, my bad.
yeah.
I would like to. Sorry, my bad. I was thinking that I had cantrips, but I've remembered I don't. I'm gonna use alarm. My bad.
Alright.
How long does the alarm rest? It's an 8-hour.
8
It's,
hours.
yeah, 8 hours.
Yeah.
So
That's
it'll be
practical.
30 feet range.
So do you want to cast
Mhm.
it right now, or do you want to cast it as people are going to sleep?
As we're going to sleep.
Alright. Because I assume that you guys are not sleeping at 4 in the afternoon. So, as you guys begin to make camp and settle down after a long day's travel, rations are put forth and you begin to eat. And Silva, as you can see, has his own rations, much more luxurious than what you brought along. But he indeed does eat with you, sitting around. Are you guys lighting a fire?
Yeah, we're gonna have to because we're gonna freeze
Yeah,
if we
we're-
don't.
Mhm.
Alright. Do you guys have tents with you? Or are you guys just lighting a fire?
I thought we got. I don't know if I have a tent.
Oh
I don't think
no.
anyone of you has tents,
No,
right?
no starting equipment comes with tents.
Alright.
That's
could-
unfortunate.
Also, I don't think we could afford a tent. Tents are expensive.
Mhm.
Alright. Braving the cold. It's fine.
And
I'm
what
sure.
else can we do, really?
Die.
We just freeze to death first night.
Yep, I really lied.
So,
Artie, if you're lighting a fire, I want to put big rocks in the fire.
alright.
Oh, just
For the
make them
purpose of?
explode.
Yeah, those retain heat much longer. You can put it beside your
Okay.
bedroll. Keeps you warm for quite a couple hours during the night.
So give me a survival check to see if you can find rocks of any measurable size that would help you.
Would I come to the same conclusion?
this
Because I
fire.
want to be able to help him.
You definitely would, yes.
Yeah, then I'm gonna help him so he gets advantage.
Nice. This forest has no rocks.
If it did, they're probably buried in meters of snow. That's fine.
Yeah.
Though you do manage to find firewood.
Oh, that's good. At least
That's
in the
something.
forest.
Yep.
Better than nothing.
With that roll, that's all you can hope for.
I should be happy with my firewood.
Yep. It's a little bit wet, so you have to dry it out a little bit, but you managed to find some firewood and light a fire. Competent enough for that.
Hey, don't mistake my incompetence for my bad rolls.
Those are two entirely separate things.
I'm incompetent for entirely
Regardless
different
of the-
reasons.
Alright. So, as you guys sit around this small fire, warming your hands and preparing to eat your rations, if you guys have anything to discuss, go ahead.
Hmm.
We just kind of sit in silence, I guess.
I turned to Rolf. You said you travel, and you do seem to be good at traveling. Where have you
Anywhere. I've been almost everywhere in the tundra. I work as a guide. Usually people seek me out when they need help crossing the tundra.
Almost. Where haven't you been? Is there anywhere you haven't that you would like to?
I mean, it's much safer to stay on the trails and such, so I haven't really been off of them too often. And the times that I have been pretty uneventful. Well, except one time. And you notice Roth starts shaking a little bit, and he like it quickly goes away, and he goes, "But you know, it's nothing really that I want to talk about right now."
That is perfectly understandable. I was just curious if you had any stories to share, perhaps.
Oh, I do. If you'd like to hear some very funny ones.
Very funny ones would be much appreciated. I haven't had much fun in my life thus far.
I
Let's hear. Little laughter will warm us up better than this measly little fire.
I was approached by some. I don't want to give out names, for it's very embarrassing for this gentleman. He's of a higher standing than most of us here, and he wanted to take his son on a little trip across the tundra. And obviously, you need a guide because it's dangerous wherever you go. And the entire way there, he was telling me about how he's a seasoned hunter and how they probably don't need me and such. That's when I said, "Oh, if you'd like to, you can sure as guide us." He almost fell off a cliff, and I had to save him with some rope. And that's about as far as that story. I'm not really good at telling stories.
Well, that's clear. But humorous nevertheless. Uh, and what you say, Captain, now that we're out of the reach of prying ears, do you really think that we are responsible for all that's happened in town?
Silver looks up from the fire for the first time in possibly since the fire was lit. He hasn't moved an inch, by the way. He's just been holding his hands over the fire, brushing them, putting them to his face, and then back to the fire. And even if the fire flickers a little bit, you see him tremble almost as if in fear. And he looks at you and says, "Huh? Yeah. Hi. Not quite sure how to feel about any of this yet. You seem like decent enough people, but what happened that day was, well, I've never seen anything like it. And given that it's centered around here, given my station, it would be unwise of me to presume your innocence, or otherwise, really.
Well, I can certainly assure you we did not see anything like that before either. Or I hope. I just sort of look at the others.
Are the others saying anything?
Mm.
I'm just making a tiny little handheld snowman.
You know,
it's melting very fast by the fire.
you seem
Worth it.
like a strange bunch. On one hand, I am inclined to believe your tale, because, well, you were knocked out for a while. That was dangerous. From the other, you have strange characters in your. So I guess you weren't a group before this?
I haven't seen any of these people in my life. Well, maybe, except for, I think I've seen Roth at one point.
Maybe
From
in
afar.
passing. Yeah, I've
Or
never.
So
I
you,
haven't known his name.
so you claim. And for now, I believe you. With a lack of evidence contrary.
Oh, just almost just I still don't know most of their names. That's especially Hayden's. I always forget her name.
They're not important.
Yes,
Took a
you
brief
are a
space, just like,
strange
"What?"
one.
But that's not Sirocco. That's Higgs.
He Silver sort of turns to you, Hayden, and looks at the snowman in your hand. Says, "Yes, indeed. She is a strange one. What are you doing there?
I just look up for a second and I just blink one eye and then the other and go back to work.
Can I draw you out of your world for a second, Hayden?
Eh?
What are you doing there?
It's a snowman. You know, you gather the snow stuff up and then you stack them. And I don't really know what you do with it after that. We never got that far.
We.
Yeah. Me and my master.
Master.
Yeah. I've talked about him before. Jocasta?
Never heard that name before.
How do you spell that?
Oh god, you're making me go into the lore. Okay, hang on.
The lore?
No, just make up any spelling you want.
Amazing. I love that plan because I'm not going to find it anytime soon.
Yeah, because the thing is, if you just say one spelling, that will be the spelling.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Remember, kids, if you do it, it's
J-A-C-O-S-T-A.
done.
Never heard that name. Where are you from, Hayden?
The forgetting all of the geography. Bladestone?
There's a big map above Artie's table if you need a reminder.
Highly. Yes. Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. Yeah, so
So,
amazing. It was like a tiny little shop that was in Bladestone.
And then why do you call this gentleman your master? Or woman?
As Jocasta was? I don't understand.
Is he a craftsman or
I mean, there was always a craft around, or sometimes mixing up weird things that smelled really bad. Sometimes traded in weapons, sometimes didn't.
so
Did
is
Kind of
he
the gist of it for the longest
so
time.
he's a merchant?
Something like that. Never really got the particulars. Never really got out much either. If he left the shop, I was in charge.
Still, it
Yeah.
just seems a bit odd calling, I guess, your superior your master.
Not necessarily. If you're
Well, yes,
learning something, for
under
example.
certain circumstances, absolutely.
Yeah, no, this is actually the first time I've ever been out of the shop. It's really big out here.
It
Um,
is, definitely.
Were you um, and sorry to pry, but what were you doing in the port?
Well, Acosta kind of went missing, so I'm kind of trying to track him down. It's
Who?
been a couple of months, and I haven't figured out what happened to them.
Can you describe Jocasta? He might have taken my services.
Maybe. Let's see here. Really, really tall, like super tall. Um, flowy-ish robes. I don't know, like not so great with colors. I think they were brown. They could have been black. Not great at the distinction. Patchwork skin. Like some of it was darker, some of it was lighter. It was really weird. Darkish hair. Had a lot of shiny things in it though. Lots of shiny things. It was great. I used to like a long time ago bite at them, but then I got yelled at for doing that. So no more of that.
It is
Yeah.
always good if someone scolds someone if they bite.
Is anything ringing a bell?
Well, that sounds like a fairly distinctive character.
make me what would this be? Let's say make this a history check.
Already, since I am well versed in Bladestone, and I do know some shop owners there. Would I have,
No,
recognized this description of this man as a shop owner?
no.
Huh. Not even in the seedier parts of the town?
Definitely not.
That was on a 19 and it just rolled over. That's annoying.
Oh. Sucks.
It literally landed on 19 and then it just slowly turned on the 4.
Oh. No.
Yeah, the dice
Really.
said
The
no.
dice said fuck you.
Yeah, you
The
don't
dice
really
said-
recall any.
It just means later.
The description is so like
Bad.
clear in your mind. You can picture the person, but you're sure that you've never seen the person. Or
Hmm.
never
Yes,
heard of
the
it.
blackish brown robe, tall guy, patchwork skin.
With lots of with lots
with
of
lots of
shiny
things in
shit.
their hair.
I can just see this man, woman, at any time.
You
Because
can
we
close
still,
your eyes and imagine it, but you
I
can't.
don't think
really.
we still have
Well-
distinguished if it's Jocasta is a man or a woman.
Oh yeah. Is are they a man or a woman?
Yes.
I don't understand the answer.
I understand it
I'm not
perfectly.
so good at telling that one apart, and I never got an answer about it, so I just went with yes.
Oh.
Were you a student of Orochimaru?
Don't insult me.
Wait, so with this new information,
Tall guy, patchwork skin,
With-
man, woman, strange experiments, stinky
With-
liquids. What was he
Well, when
affiliated
you
with
put it
snakes?
like that.
with this newfound information, would that be like paint a clearer picture?
No, not really.
No.
The answer was
The
yes,
description
and you're
was-
wondering if it would be clearer picture.
Well, I think I would remember somebody who's strange looking, and I couldn't identify whether or not they were a man or a woman.
Yeah, the description is so clear and concise that if you'd seen the person, you'd know. But you probably
Okay.
haven't. Or not that you can remember at least. So, well, that's a whole lot. Silver says it looks you. So you're much like me then. I've been out of the town 10 years, so now. Well, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, still don't trust your nature sense here, buddy.
Oh, I don't trust it either, but let's keep that between us. More importantly, how do we supposed to sleep in this cold hell?
We just do.
Well, the wisest idea would be to keep the fire going as long as we can. Well, not at a blaze, but hopefully at least some embers, so it keeps the cold at bay.
Could try and pile up some snow to make a barrier, I guess. See if we can keep some of the wind off of us.
That would not work. There'd be a chance that the wind would blow that on top of us.
By the way, Hayden, you get a point of inspiration. The inspiration is in a bowl here.
Solid.
But anybody can use that inspiration.
Anybody can use it. The more you collect, anybody can use any inspiration. At any time
Can you stack inspiration?
Not
You use 5 to do something.
Use 5 like Voltron and combine them into one.
Yeah,
If you use 5 inspirations, I'll give you an automatic success.
if you collect 10
Amazing.
inspiration, they turn into a gold inspiration. If you collect 10 gold inspiration, they turn into a platinum inspiration.
And then when you collect 10 platinum inspiration, you unleash Exodia.
No, you get a shiny inspiration.
Oh, you had me at shiny.
Yeah, but yes, the snowbanks would be the same as sleeping in a ditch. Being snowed in is not the most unpleasant deaths, but I would avoid it if possible.
Yeah, I'd rather not suffocate.
I'd rather not die in general.
So I guess we take one.
Yes,
Make sure the fire keeps going.
and also just keep a lookout as well. There's quite a lot of nasty things in the forests and in general all around us.
Roth is gonna like visibly shiver. He's gonna. Ugh.
Oh, I
As
wasn't talking
is
about you, Ross.
Icarus.
No, like it
So, yes, I can take the first watch. Who's got next?
I will.
Very well, I'll take the watch after that.
Very well. Fine. You need one more watch, guys. You need 4 watches.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
I'll get it.
If you aren't going to do it. You can always do 3 watches and then just not give a fuck about the last 2 hours.
Right, because that's a great idea.
It works out. I'm sure it will be fine.
Famous last words.
So, as you guys begin to set up camp, I want you to first off mark off 1 set of rations.
I already did mine.
9
We were eating our
rations
rations.
left.
Yep.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Wrong way.
No, it's the right way. What do you mean?
I wish.
You know, don't worry. I'll wait. I wait until we start starving to start using Goodberry.
Oh,
Alright.
thoughtful.
Yeah, it's nice to have food sometimes instead of one
Yeah,
berry.
like. So, the first watch is on the captain.
The first
We
one
all
is
going
on
to-
the captain. So
We're
all
all
of
going
you
to die.
make your way to the bed. The captain sits next to the fire, where he seems reluctant to leave, and like even get a little bit further away to set up his bedroll, which, by the way, is much thicker than your guys' bedrolls.
He's so thoughtful.
He's a wimp.
Just rub it in, why don't you?
He sits down next to the fire and he looks around and makes sure that he has enough firewood to keep it going. And as you all fall to sleep, you sit there and keep a watch. So, few hours pass. Somebody make me actually just roll d20s, all of you. Rollies, let's go.
Oh, it's a divine guidance roll.
Nope.
Nope.
I know this.
Ooh, nice.
How did I roll
So it's
the
a
highest?
3, 2, 10, and 12. Alright. Rolf.
Wait,
This is on track.
I did my alarm go off? By the way, like, is my alarm on?
Did you did set an
Yeah.
alarm, that's true.
I was just making sure alarm was being cast.
Yeah, alarm did not go off, so to speak, but you do wake up in the middle of the night. And you look up at the sky and moon is still, it's fairly high up. And as you look around, you notice that the cat is just sitting at the fire, not moving, not really watching anything but the fire. Fire is beginning to flicker out. The last of the firewood fading. And he just sits there watching. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna walk over to him and be like, "Hey, is everything okay?" And like tap him on the shoulder.
As you tap him on the shoulder, he tips over and falls into the snow. And at this point, you notice in his chest this bolt sticking out.
So it's like there's a bolt, like there's like an arrow.
Yep, sticking out, and there's a trail of blood that's flowing down his front. And
I'm
his
gonna,
body his face is cold. Colder than what it should be in this hell.
I'm gonna I'm gonna assume that I know some like basic first aid because I don't have any like healing spells
This
or
man is
anything.
dead.
Oh, he's dead. Okay. I'm gonna yell to everybody to get up. We're being attacked.
Gah.
You all wake with a start as Rolf yells in between coughs and shouts about an incoming attack. And as you climb out of your bedrolls quickly and take up your weapons, you stand at attention and look out at the forest and nothing moves. It's all silent, but Rolf sits holding in his arms the captain with a hole in his chest, bleeding out, bled out, very much dead.
What are you saying? For we're like, find cover.
Is there anyone coming around?
Make a perception.
Roll a 20 and get a bird's eye view, so you can be like a tactical nuke.
Oh, the rolls are gone.
Oh no.
The rolls
You're-
only work
you're-
in the city.
Your luck for the rest of the game. The rest of the campaign's over. Gone.
What's the total there?
9.
You don't see anyone in the woods. Anything in the woods. You, Rolf, however, do notice that your alarm hasn't been triggered at all.
There's 20 goblins standing on the perimeter of the alarm.
I will go over to Roth and the body and close his eyes if they're not closed.
No, he was just looking at the fire and his eyes still remain open.
They're
Soft
getting
look in
closed.
his
I'm
face.
closing those bitches.
What are you doing? Like we can deal with this later. We're being attacked. Like why are you trying to touch a corpse?
There's no one. Bro, there's no one around.
There's
You don't.
There's very clearly a body here, Sirocco.
Yes. And where are these attackers? I sort of look around.
Nothing moves, no sound.
Somebody clearly killed the captain, and I am certainly hoping it was none of you.
Look at my bedhead. Do
Are
you
you-
think it could be me?
And like I said, I certainly hope, as that by meaning that I believe it wasn't any of us. On the other hand, the captain is dead, and we are sure to be blamed for it. I'm going to pull out that bolt from his chest. Take a look at it.
I am
As you
also
pull
going
out the
to peer.
bolt, the body is very much already in red waters. Blood is starting to pool.
Okay, he's been dead a long time.
You notice at this point, none of you were woken up for your watches. It's fairly late into the night. And the fire's gone out. So he's probably been dead for a couple of hours at least.
Does this
Speaking of which, since the fire is out and it's the cold of night, I need all of you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Haha, do I get advantage on this?
Do you have advantage on concepts?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, then you do.
shit. That's
Or do you have advantage on... Yeah.
a 9.
Oh,
Wow, this thing really do hate me. 6.
we're
Jeez.
all rolling terrible now. All of a sudden, I rolled a 3.
Oh no, this
Maybe we need to
this is
reload the
online
table.
for me. Most of the time, I don't roll double digits ever.
Who's rolled above a 10?
I did.
Alright. Everybody else gets point of exhaustion.
Great.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
fun.
fun.
Red.
That's
As
great.
the frost begins to form, you've been sleeping with this dying fire and this raging cold, without much considering the consequences, and having been awoken with this terrible news, this tiredness, this frost settles over you.
Still, I don't want to die, so I'm going to relight the fire and examine that bolt.
Alright? You relight the fire and you examine the bolt. It is a large bolt. An ordinary crossbow wouldn't have fired this. It would have to have been bigger. It's about maybe 15, maybe 18 inches long, which for a crossbow bolt is pretty big.
Yeah. Damn.
And it's quite thick, the shaft of it. So the point you see is rather strange in that there seems to have been something on the point that has been destroyed. And now, as you look at the captain's chest, where you've pulled this out of, you see, and you pull back the clothes a little bit, you see these black lines drawing away from where the bolt struck in his chest.
Does any of this seem at all familiar to me?
No, not that you would know.
Okay.
What
Just
about
wanted to check.
to me?
Make a survival check, actually. Actually, this won't be a survival check. It could be a history check.
18. I've been either rolling less than 10 or 13. There is no in between.
History. It's history, not survival.
History, not
Oh,
survival.
history. Oh, so then it's a 13.
But you don't recall exactly how this person died. You don't know exactly what kind of poison perhaps was the bolt laced with. But something about the bolt itself triggers a memory within you.
So I've definitely seen this before.
You remember that bolts this size are fired with like massive crossbows that normal humans wouldn't be able to use, but you have seen these bolts used in the hands of orcs
Great.
in the past.
I'm gonna tell everybody that.
Ah, this is wonderful.
What do you do?
Does this seem too organized for orcs? Like, because they would
Orcs
have
can
just
be
raided.
organized.
No, I mean like this is like very sneaky and it doesn't line up with their culture.
No, there's nothing to suggest that this was lined up with their culture.
It's only strange in the sense that they only killed one person,
Yeah, that's
while they
more
could
or
have
less what I meant.
shot everyone else with crossbows.
And the body wasn't moved either, so they didn't even come take trophies at the very minimum.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Can I try and like perk my ears, see if I can hear anything that's like
Can I-
suggesting movement or something?
Make
Yeah,
a
I
perception
also
check.
kind of want to look into the darkness, I guess.
You can make a perception check too.
Why do you hate me? 12.
12.
Just once can I have over double digits on the base roll? Just once.
There doesn't appear to be any movement beyond normal movement of foot and creatures within the forest itself that alerts you. No real. Nothing to suggest that something sinister lurks out there.
Rough, my good man. Would you be able to find the place where this bolt was shot from? Perhaps we'll find some tracks to find this culprit. I'm quite disappointed. I started to get to like this captain fellow. Seems like an upstanding good guy.
Would I be able to gather the general area where it was shot from?
Make me a survival check with a high DC.
21.
Ooh, nice. Alright, the 21.
Mm-hmm. 21.
Gauging from the position that the captain was sat in, and from the way the arrow is implanted was implanted in his chest, you try to form an eyeline of where it could have come from, and you look about in the distance, and you see a gap in the canopy of trees, and you also notice that the arrow itself was embedded in the chest at an angle. The height of it was not ground level. Whoever shot this arrow shot this out of a tree, out of a bladewood tree, which in itself is a hard thing to climb. You move out and you search around the area for tracks around these bladewood trees from where you think this could have been fired. And with some difficulty, you do manage to find a set of tracks, a singular set of tracks. Large, maybe a foot and a half long, quite heavy. You trace them, maybe 20, 30 feet or so, to another tree. You look up to the tree, and you see in the tree nothing.
Nothing? Is that what you said?
There's no shooter, there's no cannon hidden, uh, what do you call it, a hideout, something like that. It just feels like these tracks got to this tree and then vanished.
Hmm.
Vanished in the sense of
They were running straight at the tree, or they were moving straight at the tree, and then instead of going around it or up it, tracks wouldn't go up it. So if they ran up the tree, they perhaps either jumped from tree to tree, which you haven't seen any
fucking
fun
Tarzan
images,
ogre.
or they just vanish, which is even more worrying.
Certainly is.
So, Rolf, knowing that, what would you do?
So I'm gonna look across the tree line because obviously, like the footsteps, they end, at the tree. I'm gonna look up and see if there's any branches or anything that are broken. Like maybe they were climbing through the other trees.
Make a perception check, yes.
It's a 14.
Okay. You do see a few broken branches, but it's only around the tree further to the north. And then they go forward, and at another tree further north, you see this trail of broken branches. So whatever creature climbed this tree then went jumping through them from tree to tree to tree to tree until you get to the edge of the forest and you see in front of you the open sleep. It takes, mind you, about 10-15 minutes or so. You didn't realize you were so close to the edge. But once you get to the sleek land, you see the prince once again land in the snow, begin to walk through the sleek land distance.
You get out of here.
After going a few steps, you realize that fresh snow, especially in this open space with the wind blowing, has begun to obscure the tracks. Following it would be perilous at best, especially given the time and given your conditions. What do you want to do?
I think our best option is to follow it, because if we don't, then what it, like we can't explain this.
Well, I think Artie just said that it is not possible to follow them.
Oh, I thought he was saying we can. Oh, sorry, my little brother was coming up behind me trying to mess with me, and I was.
It is sort of possible to follow them, but it's fresh snow that's going to get blown over. It's the middle of the night, and we haven't finished our long rest.
Hmm. I don't know what to do.
I mean, at this point, some of us already have 1 point of exhaustion. It doesn't, I think, do us any better to push on.
Again, the rest of us are waiting for you to return to at the camp.
Yeah, nobody's with you right now.
Oh, okay. I thought. Well, then I'll just go back to the camp and tell them what the deal is.
So while he's been doing this, it's taken about 20, 25, 30 minutes. What are the rest of you doing?
Hmm.
Aside from panicking.
I don't want to be that guy, but this puts us in a difficult situation. While
Yeah, if we
the
return with another
guards
dead
might
guy,
be
this is not going to go well.
while the guards might be convinced that this bolt was clearly not our means of killing the captain, it is still quite suspicious how many people die around us.
Agreed.
Definitely. Hmm.
Well, if we could employ the strange power that you possess, Icarus, and bring the captain back to life, that would
I
of
was
course solve our
debating
issue.
on that.
But I don't
There's
think that's the
no
wisest idea.
there's no telling what could happen. I don't even necessarily know what it even is. I'm
think
willing to try, but the cold's been exhausting, and last time I did it, it was very, very tiresome in and of itself. Besides, there's no telling what condition he'd come back in. Would he just pop back into his body as is? It wouldn't last. It wouldn't work.
Well,
I
he
think
is
it's
poisoned and dead. He's not going to get much worse than that. But you are correct, and I agree that it would be a generally foolish idea to, well, to rely on that power of yours in this scenario. On the
I
other
think
hand, we have to figure out something to do with this body, and what were we going to do afterwards? I doubt that we will be able to chase down the killer, as they must have left hours ago. So, are we continuing on our made-up journey to the cave? Are we just leaving Port Direct behind? I guess we should not do that, as Driok requested that we stay there for 2 weeks.
I think that we should at least try to see if we can bring him back. That way, you know, it just seems like the most safe decision if we can.
It is absolutely not the safest decision.
I feel
I
like
mean,
they just blame us at that point. I mean,
the-
he's
yeah,
lost in
they've
the
already-
wilderness. He's lost in the wilderness. If we bring him back, that's almost like admitting we killed them, even though we didn't.
Well, no, why would we
I
bring
like
him back
Hayden's
if we
logic.
killed him?
Oh, sorry, I thought you said
Yeah.
bring him back to life.
No,
No,
that's
I
what I
agree.
meant.
Oh. No, definitely no. Bringing his corpse back, though, could be a better idea. While you're correct on that, Hayden, that they might take it as an admittance of guilt, but also, what killer would bring their victim to the guards?
One trying not to get
Honestly,
found
though,
out.
With evidence of their non-involvement.
They've
I'm
already
just
shown
saying
that
we
they'll
More
already
blame
have
us
than
a
for
you
lot of
anything
think.
bodies
before.
stacked against us.
And why are we not in the same state as he? That, I suppose, is my primary question.
It is
That
troubling.
is indeed a good question. Arnie, do I know anything about the orcs in the sense that they would aim to kill the captain?
Not
Is-
really.
is-
You
is
haven't
the
really
cap-
had much dealing with the
Is the
orcs.
captain well known? Like,
I mean, you didn't know of him, so why would the orcs know? He's not well known in outside military circles. Let's say that.
I feel shenanigans here.
As do I.
Yeah, I mean, crazy thought. Maybe it's a hit. As to why, couldn't even begin.
Hit?
There are
What do you mean a hit?
an assassination.
Thank you.
I have a different idea. Because who would really want to have the captain killed in the first place? Either someone who wants to go get in their position, but why would they take such a convoluted way? But wouldn't it be possible that someone is framing us?
It would be very possible.
I think that's entirely likely. Like I said, we've already got sort of not too shabby number of bodies that are already being pinned on us. What's one more? It still doesn't help us solve the problem of what do we do about this right now.
The body is not an issue. The bigger issue is what do we do after we have rested a bit?
Yeah, it's not like the bodies are rotting away very quickly.
Yeah, it's cold, so I mean,
It's more of what do we think about doing for the evening in terms of trying to rest? Are we doing watches? I mean, what is even the
I
thought
think
here?
trying to continue resting would be a good idea.
Already, was our long rest broken up? Do we have to do a complete long rest again?
No, you can still continue on this. You haven't done any strenuous activities since waking up. You know, there's mental stresses and then there's physical stresses. There's no much of physical stress beyond being cold. So once you get the fire going again, you can continue your long rest.
Let us.
here's
Yep.
here's a thought. How long was that woman dead before you brought her back to life? We can maybe bring his body back and try to resurrect him in front of everybody. That way, he can tell them themselves. I mean, or at least try, and then they can't say that we didn't try.
I don't want to say, Rolf, but your ideas are getting worse and worse.
If we don't have to mention we have these strange powers, especially if we don't know what they are, it might not be best to let other people
It definitely
know right
wouldn't
now.
be best. Especially with the kind of attention that
By the way, Rolf,
we
you're not still
already
back.
attract.
You're still on your way back, Rolf. You're still
Oh, I'm still on my way back.
outside.
I just had this horrible idea that Rolf's going to suggest that. That is so stupendously idiotic.
What?
Just,
Is it for me to try to revive
Luckily, he
him?
wasn't there to suggest it.
yeah, yeah. I'm just so glad I won't tell this to his face. How stupid that idea is.
How stupid I think he is.
You know, I don't blame his character. It's just, I think his illness is getting to his brain.
Been hermiting too long.
Maybe I should instruct him of what kind
Maybe
of
his
mushrooms
brain's
he should not be
fermenting.
eating.
Instruct him on what mushrooms he should not be eating. Oh, that's funny.
Hmm.
Anyhow,
I mean,
since-
correct.
On
First
your-
things first, rest.
Okay. On your
At the
way
dead
back.
am sleep.
On your way back to the camp, you feel the chill of the night, as you have before, but for a second it subsides. Rolf, I need you to give me a con saving throw. You have
Oh, I get
advantage on
advantage.
these.
Yep. Alright, 23.
What was your roll, sorry?
23.
I'm gonna see your chat.
Oh wait, no, sorry. No, my bad. I mixed up my thing. It was a 19. My bad. You were right.
Alright. The chill returns as it was. But as you continue walking forward, you feel the exhaustion of the whole night wear away. You're gonna lose your point of exhaustion.
Nice.
Alright. So you eventually make your way back to the campus. They're discussing some stupid idea about somebody something somebody came up with. You would never say something like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Why would I ever do that?
So,
So
since the captain will not be more dead or more alive anytime soon, are we to turn back to the town, deliver the body to be put in the ground in peace? Or are we to continue on as we planned to see that cave, I guess?
It's not like we'll be in any more trouble if we go back now as opposed to later. Especially if we somehow find a way to, you know, make him less dead.
Are you suggesting we resurrect him in front of everybody?
No.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Not at all.
I wanted to talk about this with you, Icarus. I don't think you should use these powers of yours. Or at least not as a permanent solution.
I despise undeath. Is
While you are being
foul.
granted power, you should not be messing with the natural orders that much.
People I have been around have been messing with the natural order for their entire well, until their body rots away.
That's a strange thing to say, isn't it, Artie? Just out in the open, right?
make of it what you will.
But just in
Icarus is a very strange person.
Very
yeah,
strange.
but that implication seems to bring a bit more to my mind than probably Siroko's minds, right?
I don't
Or
know.
was
Up to
it
you.
that obvious?
That's up to you completely.
I don't know. I'm a little concerned.
I mean,
I'm glad.
considering what we know about the ring, too, in addition, the ring info.
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Wink, wink.
How closely have you guys been looking at, your friend over here?
Friend
Because-
with big
Closely have
quotations. You
How
know,
closely, how much attention do you pay to their daily skincare routine, for example?
Or lack thereof.
Man, is that
Actually,
the
no, it
smell
would
of
be
rotting
it'd be
skin?
like Kim Kardashian levels of skincare, probably. Jesus.
Do you guys smell rotting flesh?
No, because of the
Thought those
cold.
extra flakes were interesting smell.
No, just because of the cold, the rotting is much slower. Yeah, but self-hate is not a good thing.
Alright. So let's take like a 5-minute break. I have a couple of things to do. I'll be back.
Depression in my D&D game? Surely not.
I will be back as well.
Depression, pushing
Obviously,
down
you're
on
out.
me, pushing down on.
on you. Depression. Da-da-da-da.
Alright, I'll be back in a bit.
Same.
What's with all these captains getting murdered?
Why are you killing all these captains?
I don't know. I think I know the things I do.
Already,
know more.
I think you're telling us a bit about yourself that we don't want to know about.
Oh, okay. You sure?
No.
Yeah, that's right. They're the equivalent to Redshirt in Star Trek.
So I didn't catch that. That was really funny.
I said at this point they're the equivalent to red shirts on Star Trek.
Yeah.
I am back, and I have a shody pop. Oh, I'm by myself. Lovely. Bleh. Oh, are you watching the video Spiff made?
No.
Huh?
Thought I was muted.
Yeah, you must have unmuted yourself at some point.
Let me fix that.
Bye. I'll see you again sometime. Buddy from work said he was gonna play some VR with me after D&D, and now he's bailing on me. What a nerd. Bowser, what are you doing? What are you doing, puppies? Huh? Come here. No, don't you run away.
What is he doing?
He was just giving me a look.
Oh.
A little gremlin. Goblin. Okay, that scared me because I was talking to somebody, and that's what I just messaged to them, as you said, like right before you said it. Are you in my walls?
I am not in your walls. I think I'm not gonna use the same brand of hair dye again. Scalp's a little itchy.
Okay. Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry.
Oh, by the way, the mess got clean.
All right. Everybody back?
No, I'm a corpse on the floor.
No, that's the captain.
Yeah, well, I'm the captain now. Look at me, look at me. I am the captain now.
So you dead?
I'm not so sure you want that
Probably-
job that puts a target on your head.
Yeah,
Apparently.
same.
Not on the head, in your chest, dude.
Yeah.
You know, same diff at that point.
Hmm. So, all of you.
Orly, can I have a quick question?
Yeah, go on.
Would killing the captain out here have consequences really for us?
I don't know. That's a weird question.
No, I mean, like, isn't it like by law anything that happens outside the walls is like non-punishable?
It's not that it's non-punishable. It's that nobody's out here to protect anyone. If you go back there and you tell them you killed the captain, it will probably be punished.
I love the probably on that.
Same. Just like, no, maybe.
Everyone celebrates. We hated that guy. Such an asshole. Got our wages.
So, you guys find your way back to your beds for the night. There's maybe 3-4 hours of rest left. You need 2 watches basically. So who's gonna do the 2 watches?
I'll do the first one.
Well,
All right.
guess I'll do the last one then.
All right. As you bed down, once again, the fire providing whatever little heat it can in these circumstances. You find your way to sleep. All except Icarus. Icarus, you sit at the fire, alone, the corpse to keep you company a little ways away. Give me a perception check.
Who? Or is it just anybody?
Icarus.
That's 3. Do I see the corpse start to move or something? Like,
No. You do not see the corpse start to move. Little my here, sorry. But you look at the corpse for a while and become entranced with it, to the exception of all else. And though you're supposed to be keeping a watch, you feel like whatever terrible thing was going to happen has already happened. And so your concentration wanes.
Moments later, a
Regardless.
thick bolt shoots into your chest and you're killed immediately.
Regardless, the rest of the watch goes by uneventfully.
Alright.
And at the end of your watch, you wake up Sirocco. As you lay to rest, Sirocco looks out at the camp and once again notices the corpse in the corner. Sirocco, can you give me a perception check?
Sure. Did it move on its own? There's no in between. It's either under 10 or 20. Can't even look at the corpse.
Looking out, for the most part, you don't see anything. But then, in the distance, you spot something. A flicker of movement. And as you do, your vision pulls back and up into the sky. And you see the blade woods around you. You see in the distance the opening that leads to the Sleetlands. You see the road continue parallel to it. And you see where the movement occurred. The giant shape. Well, not quite giant. Large shape. Stalking through the trees. Moving towards the camp. Tracing its motion. You look around and see another one. On the opposite end, coming from the other side. Again, approaching the camp. And yet another one. Perpendicular to it. Stalking towards the camp. This one larger. Its grey form makes you shudder as you notice these wolves closing in the camp. What do you do?
Oh wait, so there are two large wolves coming from two opposite directions,
And
and
an
an
even larger
larger
one coming from perpendicular to them.
Lovely. Well, I'm fairly certain we are unable to outrun wolves. But we might be able to kill them. If they don't get the jump on us. Like how far were they when I saw them?
Maybe 50 or so feet.
Oh Jesus! So it's not the slowly move around and wake up everyone kind of tactic.
They're walking slowly, stalking. If you were slowly, it would be this in terms of having everyone awake in time. And certainly those that would need armor wouldn't be able to don it at this point.
Yeah. And we still haven't finished our long rest.
No, not really.
I'm going to go up to Icarus, as I guess he's not yet asleep because it's only been moments.
Oh no, it's not been moments. You've been looking for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's
Just
probably
been
gone
asleep
back
for
to
a while.
sleep.
It's close-ish to the end of your short rest, or the real long rest.
Like, 5 minutes later, we would have had the long rest. Now we have a fight. We have to do it again.
So, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm going to wake everyone.
Not
Not
again.
not shouting really. Wolves, big ones, and they are stalking us. They're coming. Do you have anything to chase them off?
You all are uh, woken, are awoken by the sounds of Sirocco, uh, almost in a whisper, mentioning to all of you that there are wolves around. You each get out of your bedrolls, unable to don armor in the time that it would take the wolves to get here, but at least outside of that, to prepare. How would you try to chase them away?
That's what I asked.
We could always try something with fire or maybe a very loud noise.
Those were also
Artie,
going to be my suggestions.
would fire really scare these animals away? Is fire scary enough?
You wouldn't really know much, but
Rough.
Rolf would probably know that given a large enough fire and a large enough danger, wolves will often not go for their prey. But a fire large enough to do that, you don't quite have access to.
I have an idea.
Let's hear it.
What is it?
Let's say I can create some fire. But just have to make it scary enough for the wolves.
What are you thinking?
What's your plan?
I have some fairy fire on me.
Fairy
would you say,
fire.
Arnie,
That's your
fairy
plan.
fire would that be believable to be real fire?
Not really. It glows with a green glow, and it doesn't actually burn.
It's oily fire.
Yeah.
Would be lovely. But I also don't want to hurt the trees.
Ugh. I don't want to use.
How
So
close are
tired.
the wolves?
Sirocco, you begin to spot the wolves.
Yeah, how close are they?
Oh no!
Yeah,
A
I still
bull!
have alarm up.
Are they? The wolves are not visible.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they are bulls.
We lost. What about these wolves?
Yep, that's a visible wolf. Lovely low poly wolf. Not really low poly, more low saturation. Oh, RD, can I get a promo, please?
1 second.
No, I
1
have
second.
I have a new model. Jeez, that's a big wolf. The big bad wolf.
Seems to be looking like you that way. As the wolves look upon you finally, you hear finally, Rolf, your alarm trip as this wolf begins to charge through the trees. And this one joins in, this one comes in closer. I need everyone to roll initiative. Actually, I'll just roll initiative. It's fine. Is everybody's initiative marker updated?
So?
Yep.
Make sure that the initiative tracker on your table is.
Wait, it's not renamed.
Yeah, also rename them, yes. I
Got
can
it.
do your Satan, that's fine.
Big on old, boring miniature. Comfort, cool, Hero Forge miniature.
Boop, boopus.
Mm.
Wait, that's not the goal. That's not the right one. That's the right one. It's a bit big.
Can you
Still a bit
reduce the size? That's fine.
Still a bit big, right?
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So, initiative. 1 second.
And I just sleep, please.
This is this one. Right. So, Hayden, the wolves are beginning to surround you, and they're approaching at 3 different angles currently, as you can see. What are you gonna do?
First things first, mage armor at will.
Alright, you cast Mage Armor. Oh, this is the wrong music, my bad.
So DC or AC bumps up to 16.
Alright.
Let's see here. Do I got anything else I could really do right now? No. So I will probably just go ahead and move backwards 5 feet and call it at that.
Alright, that's your turn?
Yeah, not much else I can do.
Alright. Rolf, that brings us to you. What do you want to do? Roth.
Sorry. What's going on?
Combat.
Wolves are about
it's
to
my
eat
turn?
you alive.
Okay, so it's my turn then, right? Okay.
Yep. Roth, it's a rock on deck, so Rock will prepare what you want to do.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Hail of Thorns, and that's my last spell slot for the day. And I will shoot at the big wolf.
So that's Halothons to prepare your bonus action, and then with your action, you're going to shoot at the wolf.
Mm-hmm.
This wolf, all right. Go ahead and make an attack roll. First attack roll of the campaign.
So it's +4 to hit. Oof. That is an 11.
11.
Oof.
And 11 misses. You watch as the arrow flies past the wolf and into the tree line. The wolf sort of goes low and snarls at you. Its mouth now gaping wide, and its fang and its teeth just showing. Its dripping saliva hits the ground and freezes instantly. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's the end of my
Any
turn.
movement? All right.
You know what? Actually, I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Wait, wait, hold on. 5, 10, 20. I'm going to move back to the back right here.
I love how, we're putting the warlock and the wizard in the line of fire.
I am not tanky.
You're the tankiest of all of us, just so you know.
Really? Right now?
Yes, you're a ranger.
God.
You have the most.
I'm gonna die so fast.
How do you think I feel?
Is that
Sirocco,
your
what do you want to do?
First, I'm going to hex the wolf that is threatening our lovely wizard in the back. That fucker there.
All right.
I'm going to cast hex on it with my pact spell slot, and then I'm going to shoot an eldritch blast at it.
Ooh, Eldritch Blast.
Mm.
Come on, hit. That is 22 to hit.
Ooh. So, 22 hits, and you're casting Hex, right?
Yep. So that's a D10 and a D6, and I add +2 to hit.
Yep.
That's just a lovely roll, isn't it?
That's wonderful.
That's a mixture of damage.
That's fine. It doesn't matter what kind.
So yeah, that's 3 force damage, 1 necrotic damage, and 2 fire damage.
Ooh.
What's the fire damage from?
That's from my genie feature.
All right.
I can add my proficiency bonus to 1 attack each turn.
Oh, I thought that was just your. Okay, cool. So 6 points of damage total.
Yep.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Not enough to kill a wolf, good, but
Yeah, we starting off just fine.
yep. And I I'm not a self-sacrificing type, but I do know that that Icarus is very sickly looking, and
To say the
probably not
least.
survive a wolf attack. So I am going to
Step
try
in front
to
of-
distract the wolf.
As you run forward, arcing around Icarus, you send out this wave of energy, and it grips the wolf. What kind of hex is this?
It's a hex spell.
No, like what effect are you? Like what ability are you
Let's
infected?
go with strength.
And you see as the shadows around the wolf creep up and hug the wolf tight, you see its limbs become almost atrophied, and as it does, it begins to just buckle a little, and then you send out this beam of energy right at the wolf, and it impacts it right in the shoulder, and it gets thrown back and then recovers and snarls at you. That brings us to
Come on, talk.
Icarus.
uh, Big boy needs a wisdom save, DC 15.
All right.
Cause fear.
What are you doing?
Cause fear.
Sorry, what? Oh, okay. What save? Sorry?
Wisdom.
Wisdom save. That's a failure.
Alright. Cool. He's afraid of me now until the spell ends. It's concentration up to a minute.
Alright,
And he can
that's really good.
Nice.
repeat the save at each of his turns. At, like, the
Alright.
end. You know.
Alright. Is that all?
Well, considering yeah, I mean, actually, no, I'm gonna stay right here. Yeah, it's the end of
As
it.
you turn towards the wolf and your eyes flare, your ghastly wings appear for half a second in the air and flicker out, and the wolf looks at you and stares at your scary visage and steps back almost. A sense of trepidation in his previously confident steps. We get to the wolf, and the big one is now staring at you, Icarus, unable to move towards you. It's going to begin to circle and go up onto the bank, jump up onto the bank here. And that's about all he does on his turn. At the end of his turn, he's going to make a save. It is still a fail.
Hooray!
Wolf's not very wise, and I keep rolling
Yes.
8s.
I am somewhat afraid of Icarus myself, so
Makes sense. It
I mean,
tracks.
I just looked at the wolf, and he started being like, "Nope." So,
you know, I'm at this point fairly certain he has some involvement with the Eastern Empire of the Lich Queen, and that's no bueno.
So, at this point, the other wolves are going to start stepping up and noticing the fear in their leader's eyes towards Icarus. The wolf is going to run straight here and at the wizard.
oh
And this
god.
one, and this one is going to run in as well. But this one gets there first. So he will make his attacks. Make his attack first.
Attacks.
Attacks. That would be fun.
Oh no. My
Alright.
AC's a 10, just tell me how much damage it is.
The first
Come on.
one, your AC is a 10.
No mage armor! We, like,
Oh.
just woke up.
Alright, that is 13 plus 17 to hit, so yeah, that obviously hits.
Uh-huh.
And as the wolf bites towards you, you take 5 points of piercing damage, and I need you to
Oh.
make me a strength saving throw.
Oof, okay. That's a 2, and,
You are knocked prone as the wolf
and
comes
then
at
I
your
also...
ankles. Make a constitution saving throw?
Yep.
Sorry, concentration check. Yeah, no.
no,
The fear
that's-
effect drops.
Mm.
Seeing that the wolf himself, the big one, is not quite as scared of you as it was, this one is going to turn its attention.
Icarus is a +5 to con saves.
Oh,
You have a
Yeah.
+5 to con saves?
yeah, I do. I forgot that.
Alright, that means you're fine.
It means I'm going to
You
get
don't
bit
get an extra
again.
attack.
It doesn't mean I'm fine.
That means that the next wolf is once again going to attack you, and this time with advantage because of attack tactics. Oh my god!
On a roller coaster.
I rolled a 2 and a 3 on my advantage.
Yay!
Let's
My
go.
life has been spared
Suck
by
it,
the dice
Balto.
gods.
Oh my fuck off.
My life has been
No, listen,
spared by
don't
the
put
RNG.
disrespect on Balto's
Hooray.
name.
Alright. So, that's the wolf's turn. As the first one bites you and brings you down to your ankles and sort of makes you fall over, somehow you manage to hold concentration on the spell on the bigger wolf. The second one comes and rips towards you, and you manage to barely roll out of the way, just in time to see his snout hit the ground, and he pulls back, snarls again at you. That brings
Alright.
us all the way back to Hayden. Hayden, your armor is up, and the wolves are right beside you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I hate everything about this. Alrighty. I'm going to go ahead and try and cast Dissonant Whispers on the one closest to me. Wisdom save 12.
Alright. There's a 17 on the roll, so I'm gonna assume that's a yes on the save.
Yeah, that
Does
succeeds,
Dissonant-
but it still takes half damage.
Yep.
How is your save is save 12?
Don't even get me started on it. It's because my stats are terrible.
Average stat rolls.
Every stat rolls,
Hmm.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, 3d6. Oh, okay, stop freezing on me. Come on. Chill out. Alright, you're gonna just do it that way, sure. 4, 9. You're gonna. One more time for luck. Okay, so that's 14, half to 7.
Alright. You can also roll all three of them together if you want.
Yeah, was trying to, didn't want to play nice.
Alright. So, 14 half to 7.
Nope,
That's psychic damage,
I
right?
can't count, that's 13.
13 half to 6. Alright. This is on the wolf closest to you.
Correct.
Alright. This is another one that was hit before.
Alright, and with that.
What?
I don't know if I should or shouldn't.
What are you doing?
We're just gonna chill out for here right now.
You guys watch as Hayden turns towards this wolf, and as her hands switch towards the creature, you see the creature's head sort of look around for a source of something, and it doesn't hear anything, but it sort of cowers away for a second, and then reaffirms itself, staring back at Hayden. Turns towards you, Hayden. That is Hayden's turn. That brings us to Roth. Roth, what are you doing?
I'm going to do any of the wolves look super weak?
I mean, they're wolves. They look weak in the sense that they're just wolves. You've killed plenty of them
I mean
previously.
bloodied.
You can't really tell.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna shoot the one that's looking at Hayden.
Alright. Give me an attack roll.
$19.
Alright. 19 hits.
And
Make
then
it,
my
yeah,
they
roll.
have to make, after I do the damage with the attack, they have to make a dexterity saving throw. So
Okay.
because Hail of Thorns, because it it
Yeah, it
keeps
stays
until I hit
indicated. I
something.
know. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, I was just making sure. I can't remember what the long roll range was.
Dex save.
It's
What's your
1d8.
dex? What's your saving throw DC? Doesn't matter. I rolled 18 in save.
Oh.
What's your damage on the roll?
So it's a 1d8 plus 4,
Go ahead
and
roll.
then they take half damage on a d10.
Alright, go ahead and roll.
Of course.
Oh my god.
So 5, and then half damage on this. 9 damage.
Iconic.
You turn towards the wolf. You eye it as its eyes hidden, and as your bolt looses, it turns towards you. And as its head turns, your bolt comes and strikes it between the eyes, and it falls to the floor dead.
Nice, I killed it.
Nice. That brings us. Is that all your hold on? Are you gonna do anything else? Are you gonna move?
5, 10. I'm gonna move back a little bit.
Alright. That is Rolf's turn. That brings us to Sirocco. Sirocco, the wolf is next to you in Hexed. What do you want to do?
I'm going to slap it. Slap
With?
it to death.
With
I'm, go-
your
I'm going to
hands?
guess. I'm going to guess shocking grasp.
With these
Ooh.
hands.
Go ahead and make an attack roll.
It does not.
Melee
Is it a
Is it
metal?
a melee spell attack roll?
It's a melee spell attack roll, yes.
Yeah.
Is it a metal wolf?
It is not a metal wolf, but it is a particularly agile wolf. And as your hands go to grab it, it ducks out of the way and sort of shoves your arm away with its shoulder.
Somehow 9 does not hit. That's what you're telling me.
Yep.
Oh my god, how does a 9 not hit? These things are impossible to kill.
Yep. Terrible. Terrible design, honestly. That
Yep,
is that
that's
your
me.
turn?
Yep.
Alright. The hex maintains. That brings us to, I believe, Icarus. Icarus, you've been laid into by the wolf. You're feeling the effects. You're prone on the ground. What do you want to do?
That I have. I am going to get up, brush myself off, and send one dart of magic missile over at the one that, tried to tear my face off.
Yep.
And the remaining 2 go to Big Boy.
Alright. You shoot the big boy.
Are you sure that one's going to be enough to kill this wolf?
Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. That's what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Roll your damage.
Yeah. Little guy first. That's a 4.
Oh, nice.
So the way that works is you roll once, and that applies to all 3 of your
Oh,
rolls.
okay.
Yeah, which is good.
That's
Which is
very
good
good.
because you rolled a 3. So that means
Yeah.
it's a
So
what is it? 1d4 plus 1.
8 on this guy
Yep.
and 4 on this guy.
All right. This wolf, as you hit it, it looks like it's on death's door, but not quite dead. You could have killed it. Just needed a little bit more luck.
Yeah.
The other one takes both hits to the chest and just sinks down. This attack just further reinforced the fear in its eyes.
um. And yeah, that's
It's your turn.
Uh-huh.
Alright, that brings us to the wolf. This wolf, still looking at its bigger friend, not approaching you, is gonna attempt to bite you once again. This time, no advantage. And I rolled a 5 for a total of 9.
Just below my AC of 10.
So it goes to strike you, goes to bite your leg, and you just pull it out of the way, and it sort of spins around, looks at its friend for comfort or help, and sees none is forthcoming. You can see the fear in the wolf's eyes. One organically, one not quite so.
The organic fear. Mm.
Yummy fear.
At this point, you see the other wolf look at you, snarling, barking, not able to close the gap. And that's its turn. It's gonna roll to see. I rolled a 6. My god.
So I'm just keeping this wolf at bay by looking at it.
Yep,
Funny.
yep. Don't break eye contact.
Don't
You
blink.
got those bad vibes.
If I blink it, I just imagine like I blink and it dies because it didn't know.
What is your passive perception, Sirocco?
17, I
17.
think. Because my perception would be 12 plus 17.
You hear in the distance, maybe 50 or so feet away from you, a rustling in the trees. Something seems to be coming.
We just have to make them do it when we tell them. That period at the end has to happen that way.
More wolves?
Could be.
In the
Could be something else.
trees.
Yeah, 3 wolves.
Hmm.
Haven't you heard of them?
Those damn spruce pelts.
Is it coming from the open? The
opening? This side?
sleet lands.
Oh, no, they don't seem to be coming from that side.
Is it mommy wolf?
Not
Is it
quite
coming
sure.
from?
Too
Is it
far
coming
away, but
from
there
the?
is a sound.
Is it coming from the east?
It's coming from where you're currently standing, from your west.
I'm going to tell the others that I hear something coming. Be ready.
That brings us to Hayden's turn. Hayden, what are you doing?
Eldritch Blast on the barely alive wolf.
Alright, make your attack.
Make sure to hit.
Tell that to my dice.
That probably hits.
Oh my god. At least it's a +4, so maybe 13.
13 hits.
Oh, thank god.
Barely.
Oh, good. Don't get me started.
Is those
Of course.
Oh, the D10 is the
Amazing.
the
struggling.
magic D10s?
Yeah.
Wiggle.
Alright. So,
Cool.
the wolf had,
+4, so 5 points of damage.
that's fine. The wolf had 1 hit point. And as you send out this blast of energy, it goes in through its mouth and comes out straight out of its ass. And the wolf gets impaled on your Eldritch Blast.
It's
Where-
the anime explosion death.
Icarus sort of turns around, looks at you, and sees that the Eldritch Blast essentially passed under her, what do you call it, under her underarm, and went past and killed the wolf. And she just turns at you in like confusion and a little bit of, I would figure,
A little bit of fear
astonishment. Yep,
and astonishment.
I just give a thumbs up and go, hole in one. And then I'm gonna move back. Yeah, I'm gonna move to here. And that's
Alright.
gonna be that.
Where the noise is coming from?
This side.
Yeah, because I've already made that move, so we go and find out what's happening. It's fine.
I'm sure it's nothing.
Sure, it'll be
Couldn't be
fine.
anything.
Yeah, it's the it's the reinforcements from the guards coming.
Oh,
Any day now.
Captain!
Any day now. Surely he was loved, well loved.
Yeah, you know, don't you know that he had one of those like elderly emergency call buttons
Help!
It
I've
got
fallen.
hit-
I can't
It
get
got
up.
hit by the
Help!
bolt.
I've been shot!
I can't get up.
Call an
Alright.
ambulance. Call it.
All right.
Okay, Claire,
So
let's go.
that brings us to Rolf. Rolf, what are you doing?
I'm gonna shoot the
There's one
big
wolf
wolf.
left. You're shooting at it. What's Yeah, you can shoot at it.
Yeah, I think I have a range of like 60 feet, and I think don't I? Yeah, I have sharpshooter as well.
Oh, you can shoot from anywhere.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage. Before you make choose to take a 5 to the attack roll. Add the attack. You know what? I'm gonna take a -5 to this attack roll because I'm feeling kind of cocky right now. I killed
Alright.
one wolf. I think I'm God, so
Fair.
Alright.
it's a -1 to hit. 15.
That hits.
And that's just a D8 plus 4. Or no, D8 plus 14. Alright, so that's 20 damage.
Jesus.
You shoot that bolt, and as the wolf turns to look at you, and then turns to look at the object of its fear, it tries to, in the last moments, turn around and run away. But the bolt catches him in the side and pierces what can only be probably his heart. And the wolf falls to the floor, dead.
Good shot.
Sirocco,
Thank you, I
you
tried.
turn your attention to the other side and you hear something. There's something coming. What do you want to do?
How does it sound?
I'll be right
It
back.
sounds like something's running through the sleet, the snow.
Does it sound bipedal?
Probably not enough information to make that judgment.
Does it
But as
sound
it gets
does it
closer,
sound big?
the sound of their approach makes it out so that you can tell that there's at least two. And then you hear the growls.
Oh no.
But I don't see them.
Not yet, it's your turn. Take them over the top of the order. Is there anything you want to prepare with?
Um, I'm going to use my turn to hide.
Alright, give me a stealth check. Where are you hiding? Behind a tree?
Sure.
Alright, I'm assuming you're not climbing a tree.
No.
You're actually going to go behind it.
Yeah, sure.
Do you have enough movement to do that? It's
I-
true. I'm fine.
I have plenty of movement.
That's fine. This you can hide in below the canopy. Give me a stealth check. Nice.
That's an 11.
That's
no, wait,
fine.
that's a 12.
You hide behind a tree from one side, and then your hair flicks out behind you. Alright, Sirocco, that's your turn. That brings us to
Yes,
Icarus. Icarus, what are you doing?
Seeing that he kind of. I kind of want to go over here and just.
Yes,
Turn.
put the warlock in front.
What could go wrong?
She has the highest AC.
And then.
More
That's true.
choices were made, but they were made nonetheless.
So, is that your turn? Anything?
I am going to use my healing hands on myself.
Alright.
Oh. Touching yourself in public?
Eh. Eh.
Everybody used to focus on the growling sounds coming from the woods. Nobody's gonna watch.
Brushing hair. It doesn't say what part. It just says touch.
All right,
With that bit of skin that's peeling off back.
That-
Yeah, something like that.
is the end of the order, and at the top of the order, running out of these trees, you see two creatures.
Oh no.
Second,
The Rask. And
two
an
Tarrasques
ancient
come
white
running out of the
dragon.
wood.
A Tarrasque and an
Hyenas?
ancient white dragon. What a diverse, biosphere this Tundra is. Wolves, big wolves, hyena
Bigger
wolves,
wolves.
sail wolves.
They're very pretty. Very pretty.
They're very
And they're gonna come
jiggly.
running.
They are.
Hi, you want to roll for me? Maybe you'll roll better than I have.
30. 10, 15, 20,
The famous
30.
jiggle wolves.
Oh, everyone.
They're very, very jiggly.
Their movement is a lot more than 30. So, 35. 20.
What are they running?
Oh no.
They look so jiggly.
These creatures, the rest of you don't quite know. Rolf, you recognize them instantly. These creatures are mounds. You don't ride them. Hell, no humans would dare. But orcs. Orcs ride these creatures. These are wargs.
Oh, nice. We can just talk to them then.
So, this creature is going to go ahead and attack Rolf. That is a 15 to hit. Rolf?
I was muted by accident. So my AC is 15, so I guess that hits.
Yep, that hits. That is 7 points of piercing damage as you are bitten by the warg.
Jeez.
The other
when-
one is gonna attack
When did I
you,
get
Reed.
hurt? Why is my health at 13?
What did your health start as?
17?
That's
Did you get hit
me.
by them?
Oh. Maybe if I wasn't looking... no, I was looking at the wrong thing.
Alright. So yeah, you take 7 points of piercing damage. That brings us to Hayden. That is a 24 to hit.
Might just hit.
Yep. That is 10 points of piercing damage. And I
Ooh,
need both
that's
of
an
you to make
ouchie.
a strength saving throw.
That's a real ouchie. I'm not good at those.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Just put me in the ground now. 4.
Oh, you go prone. What's your Rolf? Can I get a strength saving throw from you? Rolf,
Sorry, my dad was talking to me. It's my turn.
strength saving throw.
Oh, strength saving throw. Oof, that's rough. Ooh, that's rough. 3. I fail.
You're also prone. As the creatures come out and rush out, and attack your friends, the other two of you notice chasing behind the wargs, coming in running, this orcish man shouting, "Wait! Wait! No! Stop, you idiots!" And as he comes in, you see the wargs both turn towards him and look at him. And then he starts shouting at them in Orcish. Does any of you speak Orcish?
I do not.
No, but I wish I did, 'cause I have words.
I am sorry. They will listen to me. Yell. And he looks at this one, and it sort of turns and looks at the orc sheepishly and begins to start walking over to him. Are you gonna make an attack of opportunity? You don't have attack.
Yes!
Are you okay? You're kind of
Catch
No,
prone.
it.
don't. He's gonna attack us.
I'm gonna just do a little ankle swipe. Not
Alright.
enough to hurt, but enough to know I'm irate.
Okay. Make an attack
Probably
roll at
not gonna make
disadvantage.
anyways, considering.
Is that disadvantage? Since you are prone.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, see, there you go. It's a... Because it's just a simple swipey swipe. That's an 11.
That does not hit. The warg
See,
skips over
exactly.
your foot and runs back to its past friend. The orc at this point looks at the other one and says, "Yella! Come! I will not take this!" And the creature turns around and begins moving back towards its master. And that's where we leave tonight's session.
All right.